98% of dudes rapping, they ain't nice as me. 98% ain't lived the same type of life as me. The judge gave me life and damn, they sent me where the life is be. The level 4 with depth and fight, the type of shit they like to see. Two choices, fight or flee. I refuse to die, get chump. Never been a bitch, but damn, it's scary when that riot jump. I seen dudes cry, get punked, and some sexually brutalized. I knew a dude who lost his life and he was only doing 5 year-long racial fights when homie all you do is ride. Lonely days and nights up in a hole causing suicide. From the moment you arrive, you see the Mexican mafia, bulldogs and skinheads with big giant swastikas, pro-black philosophers, the BGF and Kumi, and Muslims who will murk you from the nation to the Sunni. The Northerners was loony, quick to ride up on their rivals. Even Christians went to church, hiding knives up in their Bibles. Political and tribal, the Crips and moves. The Long Beach, the hubs and the dubs and the grooves. The IE, the Bakersfield, the Dago Pop rules. The hustlers quick to roll, the gangsta Crips move. Whatever click you choose, you better stick to the rules. Anybody can get hit, so never get the shit confused. Dudes big as Terry Crews, screaming, running for the guard. When your pistol goes, you gon' still be hard.
Yard down. Now, for those of y'all that's new to my page, in 1994, I got arrested. I was eventually sentenced to 16 years plus life, and I served 24 years straight in the California prison system. If you happen to like this video, be sure to hit the like button, leave a comment, subscribe. Most importantly, hit that notification bell. That way, anytime I drop a story, you will be notified ASAP, and you can hop on it whenever you're ready. Like I keep telling y'all, man, the flow is nothing like Curtis Blow. Yeah, that's me gassing on the intro. The name of that song is called Still Stepping. I'm dropping an EP probably. It will probably most definitely be released sometime in August. No cap, man. I know I've been going on and on, but it's coming. If you want to hear the rest of my music, go to my YouTube playlist, scroll down to gas stations, and you're going to check me out there, man. I'm telling you, don't get it twisted. I gas. Now let's hop right up into this story. So yeah, you see the title, Two Denver Crips Diss the Homie. So, every time I tell a story, I like to tell a story assuming that people have not heard my former story. So if you happen to hear some details from my previous story, that's why. So to catch y'all up to speed, man, this is 1993. At this point in time, me and my homie OZ, one of my childhood friends, we're on the run. Our names that came up in a shooting in California. So now we're on the run for attempted murder. Now, me and my homie OZ, we have been knowing each other maybe since about the age 5, 6, somewhere around there. But the funny thing is, OZ had family in Bannon and also in San Bernardino. He would be back and forth between the two cities. He also had some family in LA who had ties to the bounty hunters in Watts. And so OZ had started claiming bounty hunter, but still in all, I ain't tripping on none of that. You know, that's my dog, man. We've been knowing each other for the longest, you know, and so this is my homie. Matter of fact, he was like the second homie that I took out of state with me to Montana. So anyway, like I say, man, fast forward now, we're out in actually Aurora. We're on the run for these attempted murders. Now, right before I went out there, maybe a few weeks before I went out there, I got this car that I'm driving in out there now, a Toyota Corolla. You know, it's candy paint green, trimmed in gold with the triple gold roasters on it. And due to the fact that I'm on the run and this car looks like a car that you might catch a gang member or a drug dealer in. Initially, when I got out there, I'm skeptical about having a gun because I'm used to being in California where the police will pull you over. You know, they're going to search me, find a gun. I'm already on the run for attempted murder. So I don't have a license on me. So they're going to take me downtown and I'm going to jail, you know. So initially I didn't want to have a gun, but you know, I'm young out there, so I'm hitting these clubs. I'm driving around in the car. I end up going to this club. I thought the name of the club was Bernard's, but somebody came on after they heard my initial story. The name of that story was called, I Had the 3-Piece of Blood in Denver. I'm going to leave a link to that in the description, so if you ain't seen that, check that out too. So anyway, I'm going to this club in a city right over from Aurora by the name of Montbello, and the club was off of Peoria. I'm initially thinking that the name of the club was Bernard's, but somebody came on and told me, no, that club was called Club Norman's. So now a car passed me as I'm driving to the club. At my back window, all of a sudden I hear, blah! So I jump. I'm like, damn! I'm thinking they shot up in the car. Come to find out, they threw a beer bottle, but my heart is going 90 miles an hour. So the next day I said, man, forget that. You know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to have my cousin take me to the pawn shop and get me a gun. Because back then, at the time, all a person needed was a Denver driver's license or ID, and there was no waiting period for the gun. So now I'm strapped up. I got a gun. I'm feeling comfortable. So now I'm back to doing me. I'm in the car. I'm riding around. I'm hitting little spots and stuff. And now there used to be this particular, well, it was several of them, but one of these particular soul food spots that I like to go to was off of this street by the name of Colfax. Now out there, at some point, like I mentioned, the streets start in alphabetical order. So there'll be 2 streets that start with A, then 2 streets that start with B, 2 streets that start with C, so on and so forth. Now I had several cousins living out there at the time, and I believe if it was in East Denver. So East Aurora. I had a cousin who stayed on Dayton Street. Now you go right outside of these apartments, and across the street was some more apartments that a lot of people would refer to as the Carter apartments, because they said they resembled the Carter apartments in that movie, New Jack City. If you look to the right, you could see the old Denver airport. Then a few streets over, my other cousin, she lived on a street by the name of Geneva. And also, I remember she used to mess with this dude. He was a heavyset dude by the name of Kevin. They used to call him Big Kev. I believe he was initially up out of Detroit, but at that point in time, he stayed in Park Hill. And so, like I said, I'm also out there with my homie. Now, our names come up for this shooting, so we go on the run. We go on our separate ways. But initially, once I get to Denver, I send him some money to catch the bus, and also to come out there with some work, because of course at that time, I'm hustling, I'm selling dope, I'm doing my thing or whatever. So he arrived a few days later. So now we out there, we chilling, we riding around, we doing our thing. Now, on this day in particular, I'm going to this soul food spot. I go get some food or whatever. I'm riding around, just driving on numerous streets, random streets, whatever, hitting corners. I happen to see 2 girls walking down the street, Now one of the girls, so I pull over, I hop out the car, I start, chopping it up with them. One of the girls, her name was Tessina, and she said that she was originally from LA, and her brother and them was from Harlem 30's Crip, so she give me her address, her phone number, or whatever. So I go to the house a little later on, I call her, we chop it up. I make plans to go over there the next day. So the next day come, I'm driving down Colfax, I bust a right on Florida, I'm going to her house. Now, when I come to a light, it's a car on the right-hand side of me. They going like in the same direction. It's 3 dudes up in there. They look like they Crips, One of them the driver look over at me. He say, "Hey, what's up, cuz?" He just speaking. He ain't said tripping or nothing. I say, "Hey, what's up, cuz?" And, the light turn green, we go on. So, I'm going up Florida. At some point, I forget the name of the street, but I bust a right. I go down a ways, then I bust another right. Now, I'm in these apartments that she live in. They look like they were some long brown apartments, and they set like to the back. It's just these apartments in the back, and looked like they was 2 or 3 stories. 2 or 3 different stories, and there was a bunch of long apartments, just one big like long hallway building. You go up the stairs and you walk down like a long hallway. In the front of the building, it was a swimming pool, and it seemed like some low-income, apartments, because when I got out, it's a lot of, women out there hanging at the swimming pool. As I'm walking through, girls is hollering out the window like, hey, what's up? But I'm already going over there to Tessina's house. So as I get up in the house, we in there, we chilling, we chopping it up or whatever. Maybe about 10 or 15 minutes later, the same dudes that I seen in that car, they happen to come in the house. So come to find out, it's Tessina's brother and her homeboys, so yeah, he introduced himself. I forget his name, but he was from Rolling 30's Crip, so at that time, I'm on the run for attempted murder, so I'm not even telling people my real name. I told him, my name was Trigger Happy or whatever, so we hollered for a few minutes, whatever. Me and Tessina, we keep chopping it up, and we make plans to go to the movies either later that night or the next day or something like that. Now, I digress for a minute. Later on, when I got locked up and I'm doing my life sentence, I was in Sat F. Me and the homie Slater Rock from Gardena Shotgun Crip. We chopping it up. He was out in Denver around that same time. So me and him, we chopping it up. Come to find out, he happened to know Tessina as well. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to the homie Slater Rock from Shotgun. So anyway, back to the story, man. So now, I'm driving or whatever. I go back to the house on Dayton to my cousin's house. The homie OZ, he's gone, So I asked him where OZ at. They said he had walked down the street to the phone. It used to be this payphone. Yeah, a payphone. Like I say, this is 1993. It used to be a payphone that we would go down the street and use, because since we both was on the run, we was a little skeptical, paranoid about maybe having the phone tapped. So we would go down there to this payphone and call our people. I believe the payphone was right down on the same street, Dayton, like a few blocks, but it could have been a street over. I'm not 100% correct about that. So anyway, I slide down there, and sure enough, I see the homie on the payphone. Now, like I told you guys earlier, OZ was a blood. OZ was probably about, I would say 5'10", 5'11", probably about 215, 220 pounds, kind of a heavy set dude, had a little weight on him. And OZ he stayed representing. Now, this is in 1993 when it was way more Crips than it was Bloods, but OZ stayed banged out. He stayed with the khakis on, the snakeskin belt, the red shoestrings, burgundy, burgundy sweatshirt, red hat. You definitely knew OZ was a Blood when you seen him. He was never shy about being banged out in his dressing attire. Now, me at that time, like I say, I'm on the run, man. I used to dress in a lot of athletic gear, man. Nike shorts, Nike shoes. I played a lot of basketball. So anyway, I see the homie over there on the phone booth. So I pull up, and I'm just posted. So now while he's talking on the phone, I happen to see this nice looking young female. She comes strolling, she's strolling by. She walking down the street. So I hop out the car. I'm chopping it up with her. I'm on her, we chopping it up, this and that, And so the homie OZ, all of a sudden, he hang the phone up. He said, "Hey, chill, I'm supposed to go up in the store." I said, "Okay, cool." So I got my back to the store and I'm talking to her. So me and her, we chopping it up. I'm finding out a little bit about her, all this and that. I think she was about 19 or 20, somewhere around there. So all of a sudden, she said, "Hey, they fighting. So I turn around, I look up, I see OZ in the store. He's squabbing. Beep, boop, beep, bop, boop, bop. They squabbing, right? So I run over there to the store. I push the door open. Now they squabbing. They squabbing pretty much right in front of the counter, but a little past the counter. So he's squabbing with two dudes. Two dudes. I could tell they gang banged out. One of them, I believe, had on a blue penalty. And I automatically knew they was Crips, right? So when I pushed through the door, OZ is facing me. He's squabbing like this, and the dudes who he's fighting, their back is to me. So one of them is kind of a little off to the side. One of them is right in front of him. So I'm running up on him. I'm saying to myself, man, I'm just to knock this dude out. This dude don't even see me. Have you ever just came up on somebody and you just like, "Oh yeah, I got him. You don't even see me." So I'm thinking to myself, man, I'm just to put this dude to bed like Jay Holiday. I can just, I can see it. So
I'ma put you to bed.
I slide up on him. I catch him with that cold right. Bam! I knock him down. I don't knock him out, but I knock him down. Now, as soon as I hit him, the other dude, pew, he take off running, but he don't run out of the store. He runs deeper into the store. So now, when I knock old boy down, the homie OZ, he run up on him. He kick him. Bam! He kick him. You know what I'm saying? Dude is messed up, though. He on the ground. So now we turn around. We hop on the other dude who then ran to the back of the store. He didn't ran in a corner, and so he happened to run over there where they had a display of ding dongs and hostess pies and all that old type of stuff, So man, we own it. Beep boop bop, beep boop bop. Now these dudes they both seemed like they was around my height, kind of skinny, So like I said, OZ is probably 5'10", 5'11". These dudes is probably about 155, 160 at the most, maybe thinner than that. They got back then too, in the 90s, everybody is, or at least the gang members, they dressing in these big old baggy shirts, big old baggy khakis. So you can't really see or really guess how much they weigh, but they was skinny like I was, So the other dude that's ran over there by the ding dongs, we own him. Boop bop, maxing him out. The homie OZ pick him up, slam him on the thing. We knocking down hostess. You got ding dongs, apple pies. You know what I'm saying? You got fritters everywhere, all type of stuff. We own him. Boop bop, boop bop, boop bop. We mixing him. So he hollering. Now the other dude, he finally gets up. And pew, he runs up out of the store. So when he runs up out of the store, I turn around, I get on him. I'm chasing him now because I'm going to see where he's going. So he runs outside to the car. I believe they was in a Cutlass. It looked like maybe a 7.7 Cutlass, or excuse me, like a Monte Carlo. So he runs to the trunk. He goes to the trunk. He pulls out like a bumper jack. He starts running back, but he don't know I got that thing on me because like I told y'all, remember a few days before that, they had threw the bottle at my car, scared the hell up out me. I'm thinking they had shot at me. So now I didn't went and got strapped. I'm like, I don't care. I'd rather get caught with the gun than not get caught, than get caught without the gun, because like I said, at that time in 1993, the violence in Denver was off the chain. I believe they called it the summer of violence. It's a lot of shooting, gangbangers and stuff going on out there. Them cats is extremely active out there. So when he running towards me with the bumper jack, I dig in the pocket and pull out the thing. I'm like, cuz I'll smoke you right here, nigga. I'll smoke you right here. Back up. So he see the thing. He like, oh, he got a strap. He dropped whatever object he had snatched out the trunk, and he take off kind of like running a little bit to the right. So now as I look back, OZ and old boy, now OZ is like facing the same direction that he was when I came in. The dude is like backing up. He runs. So I turn back to the door. The dude run, push his way up out the door, and they run. He runs. They hop in the car, get in the car, and they get on. Pew! They bounce off. So I go back. Now the girl who I was initially trying to talk to, she's still over there. So now right before she said, oh, they fighting. She was just getting ready to give me her phone number. I think I even had maybe even wrote down, a number or two. So when I go back over there to her, I'm like, I'm still talking. I'm like, hey, so let me finish getting your number. She like, oh no, I don't know now. You wild, you too wild for me. You wild. I don't think so. I have to, so I'm still trying to persuade her. She like, no, you too wild for me. I don't need nobody wild. She said, if I happen to see you again, I'll think about it. So I tell OZ, homie, come on, man, let's go. So we hop in the car and stuff. We leave, we get up out of there, we bust a corner or two. So I said, damn, homie, what the hell happened up in there? Because like I said, when he walked up in the store, I'm over there talking to old girl, So he said, homie, listen. He said, when I went up in the store, he said, one of the dudes was at the counter. I see one of the dudes. He said, I immediately know old boy is a Crip or whatever. He said, but homie, I'm not, I wasn't tripping. He said, I busted right down the aisle going to get whatever he was going to get, some chips or whatever. He say, so when he come in, old boy immediately look over there. They spot each other, whatever. Like I say, OZ, he stayed banged out. He got on his fair share of red. And so he said, when old boy seen, he holler over at this time. OZ don't see the other dude. He hollers over to him, hey, cuz, give me a Coke up out of there too or something. He said something like that. But OZ said whatever dude was saying, he was cussing his homeboy or whatever. But OZ said, he felt that old boy was really just saying it for his benefit, But OZ said, homie, chill. I ain't tripping on that, So OZ he get whatever he get, what I'm saying? So he grabbed his little chips, his soda, whatever it was. So now by the time he get up to the counter, both those dudes is up there. So they talking, and the dude, he said, one of the dudes turn around and like, what's up, cuz? Where you from? OZ say, I'm from Cali, blood. Why? What's up? And they bang they hood, whoop-de-whoop. Yeah, we from whoop-de-whoop-whoop. It was one of them gangs out there. After they say that, though, they disrespect blood. They say F all, and they use the derogatory term that, especially back then, dudes was using for bloods. So OZ say when dudes say, F, he diss, OZ say he piece him. Boop, bop, boop, bop. Now he say, when he piece old boy, the other dude swing at him. And so they go to squabbing. Boop, 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 boop. So that's when the old girl say, hey, they fighting. And so that's when I see it, and I turn around and I run up in there, man. And so, we get up in there, we do what we do, man, and it go bad, man. So after me and OZ is telling me the story, we go over to my cousin's house who stayed on Geneva. She stayed in a house. My cousin, Chris Booty, his real name, who stayed on Dayton Street, he stayed in some apartments. So my cousin over there on Geneva, she stayed in a house and she had a garage. So, due to this little altercation that we had just got in or whatever, I pulled my car. I can't remember if I pulled it and put it in the garage or I pulled it way in the back of her driveway, because her driveway curved around the back and you couldn't really see it from the front. You couldn't see that certain little area from the front of her house or whatever. So, I put the car up for a day or so. We walked back over to my cousin Chris' house, and that was that, man. But anyway, my next story I'm going to tell y'all about, man, how the police gaffled us up one day out there in Denver, and we damn near went to jail. And I believe I had mentioned in my other story at some point, OZ had kind of stopped riding in the car with me, and I'm going to tell y'all why in my next story, man. But anyway, you already know who it is, man. It's your boy 16 to life. Resume normal program.
Off that life, we gon' see the shit you own and where you still
Dracos or Fofos, and you will not be saved by the COs. Sometimes it's not even safe when the doors close. Just knife play and hand-to-hand combat in a land where it's never calm at. Fake tough guys and actors sometimes get forced to put their boxers on backwards.